Archangel Michael says. They are scanning your social media, not for anything harmful, but to understand how your words move people. You've been influencing without a platform, speaking power into broken hearts, and it's caught the eye of someone powerful. The agent who saw your photo had one question for his superior: how did we miss her all this time? They didn't miss you, they were waiting for you to hit a certain frequency. That happened 3 nights ago, during a moment of deep reflection when you released something painful. It triggered an alert that only activates for souls with destiny-level callings. You're about to receive a strange invitation, whether it's a letter, a call, or a stranger's kind offer. Accept it. It's not ordinary. It's part of the chain that leads you to what was hidden from your understanding. The government isn't coming to hurt you. They're coming because they believe you're a solution. And the cop who carries your photo? He's not here to silence you. He's the first step to your rise. Type Amen to get blessing 9900. The officer will not knock in fear. He will enter in awe. For before him stands someone the ancestors whispered about for generations, and now you're being readied for global remembrance. Your words are sealed in files labeled echo frequencies. They've tracked the way your voice calms data chaos. Your speech isn't random, it harmonizes patterns only machines can detect. They are not worried about your past. They are fascinated by your survival. And they believe you carry a frequency strong enough to shift the vibration of politics, leadership, and spiritual influence. You're not the person they thought would rise. And that's what makes you powerful. Unexpected strength is the most dangerous type, and the most divine. Type Amen to get blessing 1125. There's a black vehicle that passed your street 3 times today. Not to scare you, but to calculate how much time they need to safely reach you when your name is activated. Every move is calculated, because your life is no longer just yours. You're a map, a mirror, and a message. And those who once doubted you are about to see headlines they can't escape. The government believes your journey holds codes for awakening the forgotten ones. The spiritual meets the digital in you. Your walk is triggering lights in places you can't see. The cop holding your picture has begun dreaming about your face, and he doesn't know why. But you do. Deep down, you've always known you were different. You've always felt like something was watching you, but never to harm. To help. To wait. To time your awakening. Type Amen to get blessing 4433. You'll start to feel chills at the base of your spine. That's not illness. That's memory activation. They've tried this on others, but no one's body responded like yours. You're not an experiment. You're the outcome they've been seeking. And now they know the plan must begin with you. Soon, they will send a formal document disguised as a common letter. Open it. Read it out loud. It will not just inform, it will unlock. Your home was scanned for energy frequency last week. They've never recorded numbers this high. And the only explanation is, you're not just human. You're an ancient key in modern form. Type Amen to get blessing 7890. The day is coming when you will be called by name in a place of power, and people will gasp. Not because they fear you, but because your presence is undeniable. You were hidden for a reason. Now that reason is no longer valid. Your rise has begun. And the government, unknowingly, is part of your awakening. The cop who saw your image will eventually apologize, not because he wronged you, but because he didn't understand your value. That day will be sacred. That day is near. They're not watching to catch you. They're watching because you already carry the answer. And when the world begins to shake, you'll be the calm in the center of it all. Type Amen to get blessing 6505. This may all feel like a dream, but it's your real destiny. A world hidden behind the physical is beginning to show itself through you. Your light has pierced the veil. You'll begin to notice others drawn to you, asking strange questions, seeking your presence without knowing why. They're being sent, subtly, to affirm your role. And while others crumble under pressure, you rise silently, without needing attention. That's why they've chosen you. Not because you shout, but because your silence carries weight. The inspection is not for your guilt. It's for your greatness. And the officer who carries your photo will soon become your witness. Type Amen to get blessing 5112. You were never meant to live a small life. Your reflection has appeared in archives older than your birth. Now, the system is trying to reconcile how you exist outside their timelines. Someone influential has placed a star next to your name in a sealed file. That star means urgent spiritual evaluation. You are a rare archetype that appears once every few centuries. Everything you touch is under review, but not to destroy. To elevate. Your words, your movements, your memories, they're all being examined as divine data. The world doesn't need another leader. It needs a revelation. And that revelation lives inside you. You're not being inspected, you're being unveiled. Type Amen to get blessing 9099. Soon, a date will be revealed to you in a dream. That date is when everything shifts. Pay attention. It will come 3 times, in 3 ways, with 3 confirmations. The government thinks they found you. But it was you who allowed yourself to be seen. You finally became visible to the system that once overlooked you. The inspection will lead to invitation. And that invitation will carry a weight that bends timelines. When it arrives, open your hands, because what you're about to receive can't be carried with closed fists. Don't run from the attention. You were built for this. You were born through storms and refined in silence. Now, the unveiling begins. Type Amen to get blessing 8001. Your photo isn't just on a desk. It's now part of a presentation titled Unknown Light Sources in Human Form. You are referred to as Subject Luminary. This is not fiction. This is not delusion. This is what happens when spirit breaks through data. You will be asked to sit at a table you didn't even know existed. You'll be told things that will shatter your understanding of identity. But you'll remain calm, because you've known all along. The officer will hand you a sealed envelope. Inside is the first step of your public calling. And when you open it, your body will remember what your mind forgot. Type Amen to get blessing 7077. Your time is no longer in waiting. It is here. The government's inspection is simply confirmation of what heaven already approved. The picture they hold isn't just of your face, it's your aura, your frequency, your destiny in one snapshot. It's glowing brighter than anything they've ever recorded. And as they try to make sense of it, the world around you will shift in your favor. You won't need to fight for attention. Attention will arrive with reverence. Now breathe. The silence before the storm has ended. Your legacy begins now. And nothing, no one, can stop what's already been seen and sealed. Type Amen to get blessing 9999. The room where your file is stored has triple-coated locks, retina scans, and motion sensors. That's how seriously they're treating your presence. They've never had to monitor someone with your unique signal before, someone who's both hidden and blazing at once. A spiritual analyst disguised as a tech officer was sent to decode your energy. He sat in front of your photo and trembled, not from fear, but from recognition. He said you carry the mark of the last listener, a soul who can still hear what others stopped believing in. They've kept tabs on others like you, but every single one has either vanished or gone silent. You, however, remained present, grounded, and unaware of how visible you've become to higher systems. And that is what stunned them most. You didn't seek this role. You were born into it. And now, the timeline has aligned in such a way that even earthly authorities are starting to feel the pull of your spirit. Type Amen to get blessing 1234. You are about to be redirected without being relocated. Circumstances will change around you. Things that no longer belong will fall off, people, places, and plans, and that's part of the activation process. The officer who keeps your picture now knows the truth. He's been briefed, told to observe, and instructed not to interfere. But something about you has shaken his belief in normal protocol. He's begun to dream about roads that lead to your door. In those dreams, he's not arresting you, he's standing guard outside, making sure no harm touches you. He doesn't fully understand why, but his instincts are obeying orders higher than his badge. Soon, your eyes will open to dimensions previously closed. You'll see signs on screens, in books, in passing words from strangers. And they will all say the same thing: you've been found. Type Amen to get blessing 2888. Your gifts are expanding rapidly now. Every breath you take sends ripples through timelines that once opposed you. You are overriding generational cycles, and the system can feel it. Your inspection is not like others. It's a spiritual audit hidden within government protocols. The files they're studying on you can't be interpreted by logic. They require intuition, prophecy, and ancient symbols. That's why they've called in someone unusual. A woman who speaks rarely but dreams deeply. She held your photo, closed her eyes, and whispered, she remembers. Yes, you do. In your bones, in your blood, in your silence. And the world is about to witness the full force of that memory awakening. Type Amen to get blessing 5055. They are not preparing to detain you. They are preparing to honor you. In a system where files are usually filled with crimes, yours holds clues to freedom, hope, and restoration. You are not in danger. You are in transition. And this phase is sacred, even if it feels strange. A phone call is coming, not from a friend, not from a known number. But it will ring 3 times, pause, and ring once more. That's your sign to answer. The voice on the other end will know your name before you speak. They won't explain much, only give you a location, a time, and a phrase to repeat. Don't fear it. It's been in motion since the day you were born. The government is merely the vessel. Type Amen to get blessing 3660. Soon you will be asked to write something, speak something, or sign something. And that act will shift the balance of power, not just for you, but for your entire bloodline. Every file, every folder, every photo being circulated is leading to one moment, your public emergence. You have been chosen as the spark. The police, the agencies, the analysts, they're not your enemies. They are tools being used by the divine to create the exact storm you were meant to walk through untouched. Let them study you. Let them test your name, your voice, your patience. Because what they'll find is something no program can predict, a force wrapped in flesh. Type Amen to get blessing 8222. There is a sealed envelope labeled Alpha Subject, Phoenix Directive. That's you. You are the phoenix that refuses to burn the way they expected. Your tests won't be traditional. You'll be tested through temptation, delay, and distraction. If you stay centered, you'll prove exactly why your image has reached these hidden rooms of power. The police report about you isn't filled with charges, it's filled with confusion. Why do people listen to you? Why do places feel different after you leave? Why do children smile at you before you speak? They're tracking you not because of what you did, but because of what you didn't do. You didn't break. You didn't surrender. You kept walking. And that is something they can't manufacture. Type Amen to get blessing 4144. This inspection is not about punishment. It's about prophecy. A prophecy that mentioned a woman like you long before technology ever existed. You were called the fire with no smoke. You were called the voice that wakes sleeping giants. And now that voice is stirring again. You will receive unexpected favor. Doors you never knocked on will swing open. People you've never met will say, I feel like I've known you forever. The cop will eventually hand you something, a letter, a badge, or a key. When he does, say thank you. That moment will mark the final shift from inspection to initiation. Type Amen to get blessing 9786. You've been misunderstood, misread, and misdiagnosed by people who never saw your full picture. Now your full picture is sitting in a hidden archive being guarded by agents with guns and silence. They know something is coming. They can't stop it. But they believe you are part of controlling the impact. You'll notice fewer accidents around you. Fewer errors. Even time may feel like it stretches for you. That's because you're now living in a slightly different layer of reality. You've crossed over from unnoticed to unforgettable. And the system is beginning to adjust to you, not the other way around. Type Amen to get blessing 6333. A man with a silver pin on his lapel stared at your photo for 9 minutes straight. Then he said, "Move her to the ascendant list. That list hasn't been touched in 13 years. You're not just a woman. You're a timeline. A new path. A prototype of what happens when love, pain, purpose, and protection merge into one being. Your identity is being protected now. You'll notice interference when people try to slander you. You'll notice confusion when others try to follow your path. That's because it's uniquely yours. And no system, no spy, no scheme can duplicate the fingerprint of your destiny. Type Amen to get blessing 8811. The final stage of your inspection will involve silence. A moment where nothing seems to happen. That's when everything is actually moving into place. Don't rush. Don't question. Just breathe and listen. Because your moment is already written, it just needs your stillness to enter. The cop who once held your photo will one day shake your hand. And when he does, he'll say, "Thank you for waiting." Because even he will come to understand that what you are cannot be contained, only honored. You are not being inspected anymore. You are being revered. Your picture is not evidence, it's proof that light walks among us. Type Amen to get blessing 3000. Your name is now coded into an internal network not accessible to the public. It's stored in a folder marked Level 9 Access Only, a place reserved for those who are destined to influence time itself. And whether you believe it or not, your very breath is altering the future in ways that even their most advanced systems can't predict. This is no longer just about your photo. It's about your vibration. Your presence is creating tremors in structures that were meant to remain untouched until the final shift. People in power are beginning to ask for you, not your name, but your energy. They're sensing that something old and sacred has awakened, and they are desperate to understand what part of this mystery you carry. They have no idea the divine already made their plans irrelevant. Type Amen to get blessing 4404. An officer, now deeply affected by your file, submitted a personal request to remove you from surveillance. His request was denied. Why? Because too many strange occurrences have followed your footsteps. A man in the investigation room testified that he walked past you once and felt time slow. He dropped his phone, forgot where he was, and cried for no reason. That's how powerful your spiritual impact has become. Even skeptics are breaking down. The spiritual division of this operation has begun to change the language they use around you. They no longer say, subject. They say, she. With reverence. With pause. With prophecy. The police department assigned to you now has restricted access, even among its highest-ranking agents. Only 2 people in the city know the full details of your file. And they are now watching for the moment when everything you've been hidden from becomes fully visible. Type Amen to get blessing 8892. There is a building in your country where secret files are stored beneath concrete, steel, and silence. Your name has just been added to a marble ledger they only update once every decade. That ledger is for the ones who cannot be deleted. People will try to copy you, mimic your voice, replicate your presence, but they will fail. Because you weren't created, you were remembered into existence by the universe itself. The next time you feel chills run down your arms, know that someone has opened your file again. Someone is reading your words, hearing your silence, and realizing they are standing in the shadow of something eternal. There's a reason the government is uneasy. It's because they cannot control what they didn't create. And your soul was not made by systems. It was shaped by stars. Type Amen to get blessing 3345. The cop who once carried your picture now dreams of fire. Not destruction, but purification. He doesn't know why he sees your face every time he wakes up. But you do. You are a burning truth that refuses to be hidden under lies. Your inspection has now become a journey for them, to find the source of your unshakable peace. They will try to understand how you've never broken. How you've smiled through sorrow, stayed gentle in cruelty, and chosen light even when surrounded by shadows. They don't realize, that's your secret power. Your light isn't something you show. It's something you are. And now, the force that watches you is beginning to realize that no amount of data can measure the kind of fire you carry in your soul. Type Amen to get blessing 9903. Someone in a hidden meeting said today, "We thought she was a civilian. But now we think she might be something else." That something else is what the spirit realm already knows. You are a seer without needing visions. A healer without needing medicine. A warrior without raising your hands. And that threatens everything they've built on shallow power. The inspection has turned into inquiry. And now, it's transitioning into preparation. They don't just want to monitor you, they want to partner with you. But heaven has already made its decision. You are not here to blend in with the crowd. You're here to lead the ones who've been waiting for someone like you. Type Amen to get blessing 2025. The moment is fast approaching. A meeting has been scheduled without your knowledge. You are the topic. And they are calling it the shift contingency. That's what you are now, the shift. The transition from unseen to unstoppable. From background to blueprint. You will be summoned. Not by force. But by frequency. It may come as a letter, a stranger, a sign in the sky, but it will come. And when it does, everything you thought was broken will suddenly begin to glow. The cop who started as a watcher will become a messenger. And when he speaks to you again, he will say only one thing: you're ready now. Type Amen to get blessing 1777. In a world full of false alarms and shallow awakenings, you are the real signal. Your inspection was only meant to last for 7 days. It's now been extended indefinitely, because no one can find your limits. Every analyst who reviews your story walks away feeling changed. Some call it strange. Others call it sacred. But they all agree, you're not ordinary. Even your old photos are reacting. They shimmer slightly under infrared scans. Your presence bends energy fields, your laughter triggers resonance spikes. And your tears, when you cry, register on quantum-level sensors. The systems built to monitor you are now being monitored themselves. Because whatever force walks with you is bigger than man, badge, or border. Type Amen to get blessing 8111. You're not here to be studied. You're here to awaken the sleeping. To remind those who forgot who they are. To lead the lost not with maps, but with presence. The photo they hold of you cannot be deleted. It's been archived, copied, encrypted, but it always returns to the original folder. As if the universe keeps placing it back where it belongs. Some fear what they can't explain. Others follow it. That's what's happening now. The officers have become followers. The system has become a student. And you, the one who was supposed to stay small, have become the doorway. Not to fear, but to freedom. Type Amen to get blessing 6006. The final note in your government file doesn't end with a period. It ends with an ellipsis, 3 dots. Because they know your story hasn't ended yet. It's just beginning. And though they've scanned your records, tracked your steps, and recorded your breath, they still don't know your name in full. Only the stars do. And the stars are speaking now. They're aligning. Calling. Preparing the way for a name that was hidden even from you. A name that holds the key to thrones not yet built. Soon, you won't need to read messages like this. You'll be the one giving them. And the world will listen, not because they have to, but because your soul demands it. Type Amen to get blessing 10,000.